Good morning friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss about various informations about files, like what is the need for a file, what are the different types of files are there such as binary file and text file, what are the various modes are there like read mode, create mode, write mode, append mode, then how can we open a file, how can we read the information from the file, how can we store the information into the file, how to close the file, all these concepts I will discuss in detail for you. So I request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. First, let me discuss what is the need for files. Till now, whenever we are executing a program, the program will ask some input. Then we are manually entering the input. Suppose let me take a simple example. A program consists of a division between two numbers. Now I have asked the user to enter the input manually, like using the input function. I have asked the user to enter the input at the runtime. So then if it is gives enter the number, user will enter the number and accordingly the operation will perform and the result will be displayed. But if the input is very large, let's take that 100 students information you need to enter during the runtime, like what is the student roll number, what is the student name, what is his father name, mother name, in which address location he is storing, in which location he is staying, not storing. Okay, we cannot store some person, we can ask him to stay at a particular place. All this information if I want to give at the runtime, it will be very difficult for the person to enter all these things. Similarly, if I want to store something from the program to the file, meaning is that suppose let's take the till now whatever the output we are getting, once we see the output, if the output is perfect, we'll close it, but we are not saving the output anywhere. Is it clear? So if you want to give a large input or if you want to store some information at some place, we need the files. Is it clear? So what I will do is that if I want to give a large information as an input, I will store all the information into the file and then that file I will give it as an input. From that file, user whatever the actions he want to perform, he can do. Similarly, if I have a large output getting from a particular program, if I want to store something, then I can open the file in the write mode and I can write all the information. So there you will use the files. Now we have two types of files. One is the binary files and another one is the text files. The text files are a collection of characters, like you will have hi, how are you, I'm fine. All this information you can store it in a file, like student's roll number, student name, father name, mother, address, location, etc. All these things you can store in a text files in a proper way. Now, what are the various modes? Like we can perform several tasks once we open a file. Okay. Now, one is that you can do create if the file is not existing. Is it clear? Using the X. Okay. If you want to create a file, you will give the name of the file and then in the mode you will give the X. Similarly, we have the read mode, meaning is that you are reading the file. Is it clear? Similarly, if you want to write some information into the file, you will give it as W. If you want to append any information into the file, you will give it as A. Now you will ask me, sir, you are telling that we have the binary files and text files. For the binary files and text files, how these modes will work? If it is a binary files, you will give XB for creation. For the reading operation, you will give it as RB. For write operation, you will give it as WB. And for append, you will give it as AB. For a text files, you can give it as simply as X or you can give it as xt, anything you can give. But if you just provide X, it will by default it will consider it as a text file. Similarly, for read operation you can give it as R or RT. For write operation you can give it as W or you can give WT. Similarly, for the append you can give it as A or you can give it as AT. Is it clear? Now I will discuss this create, read, write, append mode in detail. Okay, so now let me erase this one so that I can use this space to discuss all these four modes in detail. Now coming to the create. Look at here. If there is no file, suppose let's take that I want to open a file, okay, by creating it. So what I will do is that I will use a file object, any name you can give, and I will specify the open, and then the open will take two parameters. One is the file with an extension, okay, suppose let's take that I'm writing my file dot txt, okay, I'm working with a text file. Now I want to specify the mode as create. Then what is the meaning is that in the current folder you want to create a mylefile.txt. So the X is a mode. This mode specifies that you want to create the file. Now you will ask me one doubt. Sir, let's take that in the current folder myfile.txt already it is there. Then what it will happen? If already file is existing with a name called myfile, what will happen? Then it will return an error. I hope you are able to understand. If the file is not there, then it will create the file. If file is already existing, then it will give an error for you. Okay. Now we will discuss about the read mode. Suppose let's take that you are specifying here as R. So you want to read the information from the text file. If you want to read from the binary file, then you will specify it as RB. Now look at here. There are two scenarios. myfile.txt is available or not available. Let's take that first scenario. If the file is available in the current folder, see, you can provide the entire path, or if you want to work with a file which is in the current folder, then you can directly give like this. If it is available, then it will open the file in the read mode. Then user can read the information from the file. If the file is not available, then it will give an error for you. Okay, if the file is not available, if you are opening the file in the read mode, then it will give an error for you. So this is about the create and the read. Now let me discuss about the write mode for you. Now again two scenarios. File is available and file is not available. If the file is available with some content, suppose let's take that myfile.txt is having the information called Parnika tutorials, is a very good channel, something information I am writing. Say I am doing the self-develop. Okay, so just some information. If you feel that it is correct, in the comment section you can write, sir, your statement is correct. Okay, so some information is there. Parnika tutorials is the best YouTube channel for all the BTech CSE students. Okay, so that information is there in the file called my.file.txt. So the file is available with some information. Then you are opening the file in the write mode. Then the file will be opened, but information will not be there. Whatever the information, existing information in the file, this information will be lost, and whatever the user is writing after the opening the file, that information will be stored in the myfile.txt. So if the file is available with some content, then file will be opened and the existing content will be erased, and whatever the content you are writing will be replaced. Then if let's take that file is not available at all. Suppose let's take that I am giving myfile1.txt. That file is not there in the current folder. Then it will create the file. Once it is creating the file, there will be no information. Then whatever the information it is writing, that information will be stored. So if the file is not available, it will create a new file with the whatever the name you have specified and whatever the format you are giving. Then it will create and it will store all the information whatever you are writing. The next one, suppose let's take that again it is available and not available. I don't know why I have erased. I was thinking something else and I have erased. Let me discuss about the append mode. I will specify it as A. I hope it is visible for you. Again there are two cases. One is available and not available. Let me write in shortcut AV for available, not available, not AV. Now if it is available with some information, let's take that myfile.txt is having some information. Please like, share, something is there, like, share and subscribe Parnika tutorials. Okay, for that information I want to add something. If I open in the write mode, then that information will be lost and whatever we are writing, it will be stored. But I want to add some more information in the file to the existing information. Then I can open the file in the append mode. Now if the file is available with some content, whatever the new content you are storing will be appended. Let's take that file is not available. Then it will create a file and it will store the information whatever you are writing. So these are the various modes the Python will support in the file, such as create, read, write and append. Now we will discuss about how can we perform the various operations, like how can we read, how can we write, how can we append, and all these things we will discuss in detail for you. First, I want to discuss how can we read the information from the file. So to do that one, I need to open the file, okay. So I'm using a file object called f, okay. Then I want to open the file in the read mode. Suppose I'm giving myfile.txt. myfile.txt in the read mode. If I specify it as R, then it is a text file. Let's consider that in myfile.txt, I have some information like Parnika tutorials, okay, best YouTube channel, okay. And then you have the information like Python, Java, C, like this. Some information is there in 5 lines. Now this information I want to read it, okay. Then how can I read it is that I can simply say print, okay, f, okay. See, look at here. Now whenever you want to perform any action on the myfile.txt, you will use the file object called f. Then you want to read it, so you can use a method called read. So if you are reading the information from the file which is pointing by the file object called f to the myfile, so whatever the information is there in the myfile.txt, all the information will be displayed. So this is about the read operation. Now look at here, sir, I don't want to read the entire file. I want to read some specified characters. Then you can specify the number of characters. Suppose let's say that I want to read the first 10 characters. Then it will give you the first 10 characters in the file called myfile.txt. Now let's take that I want to read few more information. Then what you can do? You can write more content is equal to f.read, okay, some 20. Then what is the meaning here is that first you are reading the first 10 characters and displaying it. That is absolutely fine, okay. Then what you are doing? You want to read the next 20 characters. So first 10 characters first it will be displayed, and remaining first 20, another 20 characters. Suppose let's take the first 10 characters means Parnika. How many it is? 7. Then space is 8. TUTO. So up to Parnika space TU it will be displayed. Then you want to get the remaining another 20. Then it will start from here, not from the starting. So then it will start from TORIALS and then whatever it is BEST up to 20 it will go, and then you are displaying that content. Then it will give you that another 20, means next 20 characters. I should use the word called next 20 characters. So first it is reading the first 10 characters, next 20 characters will be stored here. So this is the way you can read the information from the file. Now you want to read the information in the form of lines, because how many lines are there in this program? It's not in the program, in the file called myfile.txt. 5 lines are there. All these 5 lines you want to display to the user in the form of list. Then how can you do it is I will discuss with you. Suppose let's take that I am writing print f dot read lines. Okay, read lines. Then what it will give you is that all the lines it will display as a list for you. Okay, how it will display is, it will display Parnika tutorials. Okay, the next element will be \n best YouTube channel, then \n Python, like this. So it will, each line will be considered as a one element in the list. So this is about the read lines. Now you want to read the first line, then you can write here as read line. If you are just providing the read line, the first line in the file will be displayed. Suppose again you are writing print f dot read line, then second line will be read from the file called myfile.txt and it will display for you. So till now we have discussed about the read, and if you just specify the read, then it will read the entire file. If you want to read specified characters, you can specify that integer value. Even we have discussed about the read line. It will read the first line, or the, if it is first time you are specifying, it will read the first line. Second time you are specifying, again it will read the second line, like that. Line by line you can read it. If you want to read all the lines and you want to display as a list, that also you can do with the help of read lines. So this is about the read operation. Sir, once I perform the read operation, I want to close the file. It is the programmer duty. Once you have opened the file and whatever the operations you want to do, you have done, it is your duty to close the file. So how can you close the file is that f dot, where f is the file object which is pointing to the file called myfile.txt. Then you can use the close. Then whatever the file which is myfile.txt will be closed here. So you need to open the file according to your wish, which file name and what is the mode. Then what are the operations you want to perform, you can perform, and it is your duty to close the file. I hope it is clear for you for the read operation. Now let me discuss about how can we write some information into the file. So first thing is that I need to open the file. Let me write open, and then two informations I need to provide. What is the name of the file? Let me write here as myfile1.txt. And I need to specify the mode. As I want to perform the write operation, I am opening the file in the write mode. Now look at here. Suppose let's say that some people will get a doubt. Let me discuss that one. Some textbooks will just use like this also in Python. Sir, here there is no mode. Then what will happen? By default, it will open in the read mode. If it does not specify any mode, it will open the file in the read mode. If you are specifying the mode, accordingly it will perform the action. Now I want to open the file in the write mode. So then what will happen is that, look at here. Let's take that myfile1.txt is not available in the current folder. Then it will create the file, and whatever the information you want to write, that information it will be stored. Is it clear? Suppose let's take that I am writing an information called f1.write. I am writing Parnika tutorials. Then this information will be right in the file. Is it clear? I hope you are able to understand. If you want to read this information and display to the user, then first thing is that you need to close the file, and then again you need to open the file in the read mode. Okay, myfile1.txt, and then you have to open the file in the read mode. Then you have to like print whatever the information is there in the file called myfile1.txt. Like this you have to do, and again you need to close the file. This is the way you want to verify whether whatever the information you have written has been stored or not. Okay, now let me discuss how can we write a series of lines into the file. Suppose let's take that I am writing lines is equal to Okay, I'm writing Parnika tutorials, comma, each element I am giving \n Python, comma, next element I am giving. See, these are the elements in comes in a sequence. Then \n JavaScript, like that I am giving a list of elements. Then what I am doing is that I want to write all these lines. Then I can write f dot write lines. Okay, is it clear? Then you can provide these lines. Then in the myfile1.txt, in first line Parnika tutorials will be stored. Then in the next line Python will be stored. In the next line JavaScript will be stored, or we are specifying it as JS, it will be stored JS. So this is about the write mode. So we have discussed about the write and then write lines. Is it clear? Similarly, if I want to append the information, suppose let's take that in myfile.txt, you have information like Parnika tutorials, and also you have the information like Python, and you have the information like JavaScript. Now you want to add C and C++, all these things. That also you can do with the help of opening the file in the append mode. Now what you need to do, you need to write it, f.write. Okay, let me write it as C. Then you can provide like this. Then you want to write C++, that you can write here. Like this you can do. Okay, so this information will be stored in the file called myfile.txt. As you are opening the file in the append mode, whatever the information is there in the myfile.txt will be there, and whatever the new information you are adding, it will be added at the end. Is it clear? So this is about the various modes in the file and what are the operations we can perform. If you want to read it, then what you will do, you will close this file and again you will open the file and the read mode, and then you will perform the read operation. For better understanding all these concepts, I will execute in the Jupyter Notebook. Let me have a file object called f1 is equal to open, and I will give a name. Okay, what is the name I will give is myfile123.txt, and I will try to create that one. So if I want to create the file, I need to provide the mode as X, because we have the 4 modes. One is the create, read, write, append. For create you need to provide it as X. If you provide X or XT, it is for text file. So here I am trying to create a text file called myfile123.txt. If the file is already there, then it will give an error for you. If the file is already there, then it will give error. Okay, otherwise it will create it for you. Now let me run this program. See, there are no errors, so I can say that this file is not there. Now it has been created. Now if I want to see whether the file has been successfully created or not, I can go here and I can verify. There is myfile123.txt was created few seconds ago, which is having 0 bytes. If you open it, there is no data in it. Okay. So now what I will do, as the file called myfile123.txt is already available, or you can take odd.txt. Odd.txt file is there having some data. Now what I will do, I will try to create the odd.txt file. Then what will happen? As the file is already there, then if you are trying to create, then it should display an error for you. Let me run the program. You can see. What is that error? File exits error. Okay. What is that? It is saying file exits called odd.txt. So if it is already available, then it will give an error for you. If the file is not available, then it will create it. Okay. Now what I will do is I will try to open a file which is not available. Okay. So what I will do, my file 345, okay, .txt, I will try to open in the read mode. Now if you want to open a file in the read mode, which is a text file, you can provide it as R or you can provide it as RT, or if you does not provide anything, by default it will consider it as a read mode. Now if the file is available, if the file is, or if the text file is available, then it will open. Okay, if it is not available means then it will show an error for you. Not available means error. Why? You are trying to open a file in a read mode which is not available. If it is not available, how can it will open? That is not possible. See, I am damn sure that there is no file called myfile345.txt. If I am trying to open that file in the read mode and if I run, you can see file not found error. There is no file or directory called myfile345.txt. I hope you are able to understand. Now what I will do here is that I will open the file called odd.txt. Okay, odd.txt, it has some content. Now let me read that one. What is the content is there, I want to display it for the user. So what I will do, f1.read, I will use the read method. What the read method will do, it will read the entire content which is available in the file called odd.txt. Then you can say, sir, you should have provided as odd.txt.read method. No need to specify the file name. Whatever the object you have created, that object you can use. So this method called read, it will read the entire content from the file and display back to the user. You can see the entire content has been displayed. If you are not comfortable with this output, let me do one thing. We have created a my file called .txt. myfile123.txt. Here what I will do, I will write, hi, how are you? I hope you are doing well. Are you enjoying the lectures from Parnika Tutorials YouTube channel? I request everyone to share, like and subscribe to the Parnika tutorials. This is what the content I have written and I have saved. Okay, now let me close it. Now what I will do, I will write here myfile123.txt in the read mode. As the file is there, it will open in the read mode and it will read the entire content, and you are saying that print. So the entire content will be read and will be displayed on the console. Now you can see whatever the content is there in the myfile123.txt has been displayed back. This is what the content we have written. Hi, how are you? I hope you are doing well. Are you enjoying the lectures from Parnika Tutorials YouTube channel? I request everyone to share, like and subscribe to the Parnika Tutorials. Okay, now you don't want to read the entire file. You want to read only first few characters. Then you can provide here. Then what will happen? It will read the first 10 characters. The first 10 characters will be read and will be displayed. The first 10 characters will be displayed as an output. Okay, because you are writing within the print method. So now let me run the program. You can see only first 10 characters have been displayed. Hi is 2 characters, space is the third, again 3 characters, total is 6 and space is 7, ARE is 3. So totally you have 10 characters has been displayed. Now I have one more doubt. Again if I write f1.read another 10 characters. Now my question is, again it will display the same first 10 characters or will it display the next 10 characters? It will display the next 10 characters. Okay, if you want to observe, let me run the program. See, next 10 characters have been displayed as an output. I hope you are able to understand the read method. Read method without any arguments or parameters, the entire content which is there in the file will be read. If you provide some value, then those many characters will be displayed. Now we will discuss about the next method called read line method. Okay, so if I write f1 dot read line, then what will happen? The first line in the file called myfile123.txt will be read and will be displayed, because you are writing within the print statement. Okay, what will be there? The first line in the file will be displayed. Okay, if you want to verify, let me run the program. You will get an output as hi, how are you? Okay, now I have one more question. Let me write print f1 dot read line. Now here if I run, again it will display the first line or it will display the second line, because already you have used the f1 dot read line. Now if you are again write the read line method, or if you are using the read line method, will it display the second line or again the first line? It will display the second line. Okay, I hope you are doing something I have written. Let me verify it. Let me run the program. You can see. I hope you are doing well. Okay, so this is the way. How many lines are there in the program? Those many times you can use the read line method to read the line by line content. You can see next line will be displayed. Again if you copy this statement and paste it, again it will display the next line. So like that, if you want to display the content to the user line by line, then you can use the read line method. Again we have another method called read lines method. Okay, what the read lines method will do is that you can verify here f1 dot read lines. Okay, if I run the program, all the lines will be displayed as in elements in the list. If you want to verify, let me run the program. As I said earlier, we have 4 lines. What are the 4 lines? Hi, how are you? Okay, let me zoom out. Okay, hi, how are you is the first line that has been displayed as in one of the element which is there at the 0th index. Then I hope you are doing well, that is the next line. How can I say it is next line? You have backslash n. Backslash n is an escape character to go to the new line. So I hope you are doing well. So this is the second line which is there at the first index in a list. Are you enjoying the lectures from Parnika Tutorials YouTube channel? That is considered as one element. I request everyone to share, like and subscribe to the Parnika Tutorials. This has been considered as one more element. If you want to see whether it is a list of elements or not, I can write here C is equal to a print f1 dot read lines. Okay, let me zoom little bit. Okay, then what I will do, I will print the type of variable C. You can see what will happen. C class none type. Okay, but if you try to find the number of elements in the list called C, then you can write len of C. Okay, then it will display the output as what? See, what is that error we got? Non-type has no. Oh, here we have written print. Now we should have not written print. That is what the issue is happening here. So what you should write, C is equal to f1 dot read lines. Okay, then you can even see here the type of C. Then it should give the list for you, as I said earlier. Okay, because it is a list. If you want to compute the length or number of elements in this list called C, then you can see 4 elements are there, because in your file 4 lines are there. So that's why you are getting the output as 4. So the C will be considered as a list, because this read line methods will return a list for you, and that list has been stored in a variable called C. So this is now becoming a list variable. Then you are computing the len to compute the length of the list, or how many elements are there in the list. I hope it is clear for you how to use the read method, a read line method, read line method and read lines method. So this is the way you can use these 3 methods to read the content from the file. Now what I will do, I will try to open a file called what I can say Pawan Kalyan. Okay, pawankalyan.txt. This is the file I want to open. Now in what mode I want to open? In the write mode. What is the meaning of write mode is if you have the file, let's take that if you have the file is existing. If file is existing, then file will be opened. And whatever the old content is there in the pawankalyan.txt will be loose, and whatever the new content you are writing, that will be there. If the file is not existing, there is no file called pawankalyan.txt, then new file called pawankalyan.txt will be created. Okay, if the file is existing, then it will open. Whatever the content you are writing, it will be stored. The old content will be removed. If the file is not there, then the new file will be created. So what I will do here is that let me write that pawankalyan.txt. If you want to verify whether such file is there or not, you can see there is no file called pawankalyan.txt. Okay, so then what will happen? If you run this program, it will be created. Okay, and even I want to write some content into that one. Okay, f1.write hero I want to write. Okay, now let me run the program. And even see, remember, even in the earlier I forgot to display about the close method. You need to close the file. See, the three things you need to do. One is that you need to open the file in whatever the mode you want. Then you need to perform the operations on the file, whether you want to read, then perform the read operation. If you want to write some content into the file, perform the write operation. If you want to append some content into the file, do it. Once you have completed those things, it is your duty to close the file. Okay. So what I will do, let me run this program and see what will happen. Let me run the program. The program has been run successfully. You go to this home page and see immediately pawankalyan.txt file has been created few seconds ago, and it has a size of 4 bytes. Okay, now let me open that one. You can see Pawankalyan is a hero. So that's why I have written hero here, and that hero has been saved properly. Okay, what I will do, let me close this one, again open this file, and this time what I will write here is that he is the God. Okay, let me write here. Now what will happen? Already pawankalyan.txt file is available with some content called hero. Then the file will be opened. Whatever you are writing, that will be stored, and the old content will be removed. So if you open this file after running the program, you will lose the hero and you will have the he is the God. Okay, if you have any doubt, let me run the program. Okay, the program has been run without any errors. There is my pawankalyan.txt. Open that one. You can see the old content hero has been removed, and you can see the output as he is the God. Okay, so that is the purpose of a write method. Now to the programmer, if I say I have written the program, you go to that folder, open that file and see whether it has been done successfully or not. If I start saying like that, the programmer will not feel happy. What is the task you need to do? Whatever you have written in the file, that content you want to display back to the user in the console itself. Then what I will do, I will write he is the God. Okay, and he is a great politician. He is a great politician, something I am writing. Okay, so now what will happen? Earlier you have the hero that has been removed. Yeah, now you have the he is the God. Then that he is the God will be removed. But anyway, you are again writing he is the God, so he is the God will be there. He is a great politician. then what you need to do, again you need to open that file called pavankalyan.txt. This time you want to read the content and display back to the user. So that's why what you need to do, you need to open that file called pavankalyan.txt. In what mode? In read mode. Once you have opened the file in the read mode, as the file is existing, it will not give any error. If the file is not existing, then it will give an error for you. Then what I will write here, print f2.read. I will use the read method to read the entire content from the file, and it is my duty to close the file. So I will use the f2.close. So I am closing the file name called pavankalyan.txt. Now let me run the program. In the console itself, you can see the output called he is the god, he is a great politician. See, he is the god, he is the great politician. If you want it in a new line, then again let me run the program. You can see he is the god has been written in one line. In the next line, he is a great politician has been written. So this is the way you can use the write method to write some content into the file. Similarly, you can use the write lines method also. How we can use it is, instead of this one, what I will do, let me remove this one. I will take one list called lines having the elements. What is the elements? Hero. I will give \n because it needs to go to the new line. Then again God, okay, \n, comma, politician, and then I have future CM, something I am writing. Okay, then what I will do, this is what lines is a list, consists of various elements, like you have the hero at the 0th index, god at the 1st index, politician at the 2nd index, future CM at the 3rd index. So totally you have 4 elements. Those 4 elements you want to write into the file called pavankalyan.txt. Then you need to write F1, because whatever the object you have created for the file, that object only you need to use. Then you can write a write lines method, and then you can provide the one list. Then entire content will be returned into the file called pavankalyan.txt. Then if you are running the program, you will get the output as hero, god, politician, future CM. How it is actually happening? You have taken one list called lines, a list having several elements. All these elements will be written into the file called pavankalyan.txt, and then you are closing that file. Then you are opening that file in the read mode, and you are using the read method. Whatever the content is there, that will be read, and then it will be displayed back to the user, and you are closing that file. Now let me discuss about the append mode. As I said earlier, we have 4 modes called create, read, write, append. We already discussed about the create mode, read mode, write mode. Now let me discuss about the append mode. Then the append mode, what it will do is that if the file is existing, then with some content, whatever you are writing, that content will be added to the existing content. If the file is not existing, then a new file will be created. Now let's take that pavankalyan.txt has the content called hero, politician, future CM. Now what I am doing is that I am appending some more content to it. Okay, f1 dot write, and I will write here, what I will write, good husband, something. Okay, and even I will write f1 dot write, good actor, because every hero may not be a good actor. So this is the content I have written. Now what will happen if you display the content is hero will be displayed, god will be displayed, politician will be displayed, future CM, then good husband, good actor will be also displayed as an output, because that content will be appended to the file called pavankalyan.txt. Again let me tell you, if you are trying to open a file in an append mode, if the file is existing with some content, that content will be preserved and the new content will be added. Whereas in the write mode, that old content you will lose. Okay, you don't want to lose the old content and new content should be added to that one. Then you need to open that file in the append mode, but your old content is not required for you. Okay, the new content is very much important for you. In that case, what you can do, you can open the file in the write mode and you can perform the actions. I hope it is clear for you about the all the methods, all the, what you can say, all the modes in the file. Okay, if you still have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.